What I did is I created 3 different sort of groupings of weather file, and I imported 3 different groupings. One for climate zone 15, one for climate zone 10, and one for climate zone 6. So the climate zone that you guys are working on in design 2 is climate zone 10, so I'm going to focus on that one. But I just wanted to show you that you can import multiple weather files into the open weather file component. So you can have one for 15, one for 10, one for 6. All right, and you can sequentially feed those into the import EPW file or component that does the work. Okay, all right. So the next thing that I wanted to do is to try and take a look at the creation of something called a conditional statement. Okay, right now this legend is kind of producing its own set of parameters. It's based on a gradient of 10 or something like that. But we can start to give it data, or we can start to restrict its data so that we can start to see time periods that we're interested in. So for example, if we wanted to set a low and high boundary, okay, somewhere between 65 and 75 degrees, we can do that. We'll do that with a number slider, or not a number slider, a panel. And I'm going to set the high limit to 75 degrees. And I'm going to set the low limit to 65 degrees. So that's the high boundary. I'm going to set the other one down to 65 degrees, and you can do this in any of the ranges that you want to. All right. Once it recalculates, then you're going to be able to find, all right, where is that band of temperature ranges? Okay, so 65 to 75 degrees. When is the outside air temperature in this area at that approximate range? And you can see that not much of the time periods, okay, that are out there are in that range. The majority of the times are either too hot or too cold. And this is climate zone 10 now. So if I wanted to take a look at the same thing, right, comparing it to what we started out with, which was climate zone 15, which is the desert, I'll run 15 in here and let it do its thing. And once again, you can see that the majority of the time, right, is spent outside of that narrow band where you're comfortable. Okay, so earlier today when we were in design 4, we were talking about, well, how do I identify time periods, right, where the average temperature is below a certain point, right? By using conditional statements, you'll be able to kind of do that. All right. So what I'd like you guys to do is just practice a little bit with the conditional statements. Go ahead and plug them in for 65 and 75. All right, and take a look at what the output of the graph looks like. Okay.